cooking good looking. Welcome back, I guess, or welcome to, depending on, if you've seen the test video or not. So this will be the first video, the proper video, for the final project. So I kind of hope it goes well. If it don't, that's just kind of like a skill issue, not gonna lie. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk about how games from the early 60s, 70s have transformed their sound, as in sound effects, game music, preferably right now, from the old 8-bit chiptune style of sound to now you have the full orchestrated pieces, if you get what I mean. I just want to kind of have a little delve into that slightly, just to see, not see what's going on, but at the same time, have a little look at how it's changed throughout the years, because it's quite fascinating, really. Because if you think about it, even video games in general, we went from crappy little Pong, if you remember, old people, which is just literally 2 bars and a dot flying across the screen, really. And now we're coming on to things like, say, Hogwarts Legacy. That was such a good game, an open world game. Say the Fallout franchise, they're some of the best games ever. A lot of the games Rockstar produces, as in say Red Dead Redemption. The first one, personally, wasn't the best. The second one, though, I absolutely love Red Dead Redemption 2. Genuinely one of the best prequel games that ever made, in my opinion. And the evolution of them, even just the games themselves, you can tell there's a big difference, because they went from quite a linear motion where you had maybe just 2 things flying across the screen, or you had to get from A to B and that was the end of the game. Or a lot of them were quite infinitely going, if you get what I mean. Pac-Man, that kind of stuff was it just kept going and going and going until it didn't, if that makes sense. When it comes to sound, that's one of the key aspects of games, even media in general, really, though. Movies, for example. Imagine watching a silent movie. I guess they did, but imagine nowadays watching a silent movie. It'll be really boring, because how will you know what to feel? How will you know you'll know what to feel? You know what I mean? Watching a silent movie back then, they had a little orchestra playing the music live. But if you see clips of it now, it was pre-recorded. So again, it's changed throughout the time. But yeah, so I kind of want to just look into really specifically. I've got 4 videos ready, right? And these 4 videos contain 4 different games, and I just want to quickly look at the sounds on each and every single one of them. And I just want to kind of talk about them slightly in the way that they're recorded, or the way that they play, and also a little bit of backstory. Mainly, I want to talk about is the old 8-bit chiptune, because that's what it's called. I don't know why I'm doing this with chiptune. That's what it was all called. I just want to talk about them in a little bit of detail. I don't really want to dive into I don't really want to go into complete detail yet. That might be for another video. This is just to see how well I can just edit this one and make sure it's okay. Next video I'll record, so something to look forward to next time. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take 2 trailers from 2 different games. So I'll need to have a look for these games. We'll watch them through once. We'll see the sounds, we'll take note, say, voice line here, who said it, that kind of stuff, gunshots, and then we're going to try and recreate the audio, but with a little twist. So there'll be obviously more on that coming then. So, let's actually get into it properly then. That was a bit of a long intro, but we can cut it down. That's the beauty of editing, darling. So we're going to have a look at Pac-Man right now. So first we're going to take a listen to the sounds, the main sounds, and then we can easily talk about it after that. So let's just... Right. I just wanted to quickly play that bit. I just wanted him to get the little power pellet first, just so I could do that. So just show you them sounds. So yeah, Pac-Man, one of the most iconic games in like gaming history at all. Like genuinely, most people, like even say maybe older generations, would say like they haven't played Call of Duty, but they would have played Pac-Man or Frogger or other kind of stuff like that. So you'll see like arcade games. They were like the turning point of like the video game industry, really, as you used to have like big machines that would like. You might obviously been to an. I'm guessing you guys might have been to like arcades before you go on holidays. Like obviously they was like everywhere back then. So getting an arcade machine would be like expensive because that was like proper advanced technology, especially for the time. So yeah. So again, what I just want to quickly look over then is just the sound. So let me just like replay like a little bit. So take a listen to like the start in now. So when the music comes on, you can hear two different sounds. You can hear the main, and then you can also hear like a little more bassy like which are coming from two different sound waves, which I will get into in a minute now. So just quickly have a listen to this. Did you hear that then? So basically, old system like this, I've got it like written down because I'm not exactly like John Audio, don't get me wrong. So I didn't use ChatGPT, I want to say, and I didn't copy and paste. This is written down in my own words. But again, obviously I'm going to explain them in my own words again. So it's like double original. So what I wrote there was old video game consoles, more primitive NES and Game Boys, along with arcade machine music, was produced by antiquated sound chips, otherwise known as PSGs, not to be confused with the football club, as shit as they are, from the 70s to the 90s. So like I said, this would be about the time where Pong, Frogger, Pac-Man, all this kind of stuff would be. Which, at the time, this would be like the pinnacle of technology, like games, because you are able to control yourself in like a world which doesn't exist. It's really confusing to explain, and I'm so sorry I'm not explaining it well enough. Like I'm not giving any justice, but these PSGs, they synthesize sound in real time using basic waveforms. You had square, triangle, and noise, instead of playing back recorded audio. So, yeah, you see playback recorded audio, games like Call of Duty, Minecraft, all these newer games, like even though Minecraft was the first official playable version of Minecraft, cave game, back in 2009, didn't have a soundtrack. But then 2011, they got this Swedish guy, C418, like what a guy, he's like literally so talented. And he was creating the Minecraft soundtrack for like years until they had a bit of a legal dispute, if I remember right. I'm hungry. These PSGs, like the sound chips, they were limited to 3 or 4, depending on how expensive they were, monophonic channels. And these chips create high pitch and buzzy textures as they were intended for simple sound rather than analog style music. So they was meant for like, say if you press a button, it'll be like beep, that kind of thing, Catch my drift, gangland. So the sound is built from mathematic waves. That's what it says. I was never really a maths person. I had a B in my exam though, and a C in my numeracy. So, you might. So it says here the square waves were there to give a sharp, hollow sound, whereas triangle waves are soft or bass sound, and noise generators for drums and static. So again, let me play this again. Like now you can hear this. Like you would have had square waves given the like main melody. It's quite higher, quite like softer, and then triangle waves there would be for the like. So the Pac-Man theme was created a custom 3-channel waveform sound generator, or a WSG. They weren't given one. They didn't buy one. They had to create their own like software and like their own model for it. So yeah, they utilized 4-bit waveforms which could be programmed to create various tones and noises. So I'm guessing this would have had the which one was it now? This would have had the I've never actually seen a lot of this before, so this is relatively new to me, this kind of stuff. But I will look into it more in the future, and then obviously I can make another video on it once I actually do know everything 100%. So that was the Pac-Man one. And another thing I actually want to show was the original Super Mario Brothers theme. So obviously everyone knows Mario, and he's had the same basic like intro throughout the entire of Mario. But I want to show you this, and I'll quickly find after this the intro they did for the Super Mario Bros. Movie, because it's so different. Because this was at a time where memory was expensive. Like you think stuff like RAM and all that due to AI is like really expensive nowadays. You should have seen it back then, where memory was like, obviously it was a quite brand new thing, so they was trying to profit over it as much as they could. So yeah, let's have a look at this right now, just quickly, so you can see the difference, and then I'll show you the newer sort of games, and I'll show you the newest Mario intro right now. Brings back nostalgia, do you get what I mean? And you can see they kind of like, we got like different, let's go to, this is the overworld theme, let's look at the underworld theme as well, like, because obviously they would have had different ones. So back then, the music would be playing as you were playing the game, but nowadays you see the music is like, mainly like triggered by something, which I will go into later. But yeah, so again, let's like listen to the underworld theme, which is, so what I'll show you now as well is the one from the Mario movie, where they kind of like did a remix, and obviously they got like a big soundtrack as well, because it was like a lot of like music from the old games, where they recreated it like really well as well, like genuinely, it looks so beautiful. But like this one, I'm pretty sure was at the end of the movie, and the second one, which was the Galaxy. If they do a third one, personally, I really hope they make the Super Mario Odyssey. Just listen now to the difference between the old Mario one and this one by you. See, like they took it and they kind of changed it a bit, but you can tell that was made with like an actual orchestra playing. That was like a proper pre-recorded. They spent money on it, you know, and you can tell the difference between that and then all the way to the original. See that little chiptune sound, where they could only have like 3 sound waves going on, compared to this absolute beauty. Because you had like a choir singing as well. So a lot of motion pictures have like a lot of like an orchestra playing. The same thing with games, which I will get into now in a minute actually. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to show you for the old ones. So now I want to talk about like newer games. So as you can see by here, this is Halo. You might not know Halo, really niche game, like is not like that big at all. But I'm joking. But yeah, so you got Halo. So like I've written down by here, again, I've written it down. So like I've written down by here, it says modern game music is produced primarily in digital audio workstations using virtual studio technology. Some bigger companies often use professional orchestral recordings. They use pre-recorded sounds instead of using chiptune effects. There are different kinds of pieces, like Minecraft, which is a soft piano or a soft classical guitar. Then there are games like Halo and Doom, which have full orchestral soundtracks. So Minecraft originally was quite like an indie game. And it was quite small with Mojang, was it Mojang originally owned it? Was it YJ Studios or something like that? But they like didn't have like a lot of players. So the Minecraft stuff didn't have a lot of money. So when they first had this, they needed something simple. So they're pre-recorded in like a virtual studio where you'd have like, say, programs on your PCs and stuff, which a really good one for free is BandLab. So you take a listen to the Halo. This is obviously the main theme. You probably would have I say probably, most of you would have already heard this before anyway. But I just want to kind of show you guys this one so I can explain more about the orchestra and what I mean by that. Got this. Let me skip to the middle a bit so you can hear it properly. So, just like I said earlier, full orchestral soundtrack, which sounds absolutely amazing. There is something about an orchestra, though, that does sound really cool. I do love an orchestra. One thing, it's not my kind of music now. I'm more into like rock, punk kind of stuff. I literally like a My Chemical Romance top on right now, bro. But I do that. You can't beat a Welsh male voice choir, but you can hear the violins playing. You can hear obviously like the little choir oh, I can't remember where it went. You know what I mean? That was terrible. But yeah. So you can see all this stuff, right? So the original Halo came out in 2001. So this was obviously like really early 2000s. But you can tell that's when they started investing in like pre-recorded audio. So the main theme would have been around for more of the main title screen and stuff. But still, it shows that like the difference between then and now. See, the old games, the chiptune games, they would have to play them consecutively as you were playing. Like they couldn't have, there was no pre-recorded sounds. There was only live sounds. Whereas they're all pre-recorded, which means there's no need for them to, it's all recorded, it's all there, and it's all linear in a way. It's all non-linear. So it doesn't go in a line. So there'll be themes for when, say, you enter a dungeon. There'll be themes for when you start killing people. You're about to die. But then in the older games, there'd all be one theme for everything. This, I'm guessing, was mainly for the storage issues and stuff. So there you have like a full orchestral setting, right? So now I just want to come over to Minecraft. So this one is Hagstrong. But you can see this one is quite soft. So let's take a listen to this first, and then I'll obviously talk about it afterwards. So you can see there really is quite, you can tell it's digital in a way, because a lot of, because the difference between like an orchestra and then digital sounds, you can tell based on the slight static coming out of the sounds. So as you can see, there was the keyboard obviously playing, or the piano, whichever one, or maybe it was a xylophone, or glockenspiel, either way. So yeah, there would have been one of them playing. Obviously, you could use slight violins in the background. So they replicated whatever possible. And C418 was genuinely like inspirational. He was like the big Don. He was John Audio back in the day. So yeah. So as you can see the difference then between the old audios, the 8-bit chiptune audios, and this audios was mainly a recording and memory issue, where old chiptune needed certain sound waves from certain chips because memory was quite expensive, and they played in a linear motion all in one, whereas these are pre-recorded and play based on certain activities and aspects of the games. So I think that's about it for today. I'm pretty sure. So I just want to say thank you for watching, guys. Hopefully, if you did watch, this is for my FMP as well. I will need feedback on this for my FMP. I say need, I probably don't, but I just need something to write on there. So I will lie to you, feedback as much as possible, even if it's like brutally honest, saying it's terrible, or if you're going to be really, really nice and flirty and say that it's amazing. Oh, that was witty. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will have to bid you adieu. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.